Jai Kunja Vihari Radha Madhava Jai Gopi Jana Balabha Jai Giribharadhari Jai Giribharadhari Giribharadhari Jai Giribharadhari Jashodanandana Jai Braja Janaranjana Jai Braja Janaranjana Janaranjana Jai Jashodanandana Jai Braja Janaranjana Jai Braja Janaranjana Jai Braja Janaranjana Jai Jamuna Tidabanachari Jai Kunja Vihari Jai Jamuna Tidabanachari Jai Kunja Vihari Oh, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Oh Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Jai Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Jayom Vishnu Pad Paramhamsa Purivrajagacharya Ashtara Sarasusramachala Abhay Charanara Vinabhakti Vedanta Shami Shri Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Pratishtata Acharya Shri Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Shri Nitai Gauda Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Vande aham Sri Guru Sri Judapara Kamalam Sri Guru Navaishnavangscha Sri Rupam Shagarajatam Shahagana Raganatam Mitang Tang Shajeevam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Shaitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shivishakang Vidangscha Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dharma Projita Kaitava Atra Paramaniramat Saranam Satam Vedam Vashtavam Atra Vashtu Shivadam Tapatrai Unamulanam Srimad Bhagavate Mahamune Krite King Avai Parashvara Ishvara Sadda Ridi Avarujite Atra Kriti Vi Shushubitakshanat. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 2, Text 14. Evam brito banam gatva dristva davaginim utitam teno payukta karano Brahma prapya param muni evam prito vanam gatva dristva davagnim utitam tenopayukta karano Brahma prapya param muni. Matri Mandali. Evam Britaha, being situated in such an order of life. Banam, to the forest. Gatva, after going. Dristva, when he saw. Dava Agnim, a forest fire. Utitam, existing there. Tena, by that fire. Upayukta Karanaha, engaging all the senses of the body by burning. Brahma, transcendence. Prapya, he achieved. Param, the ultimate goal. Munihi, as a great saintly person. We are reading from text 10 onwards, and when we get to this verse, we will read it in the appropriate chronology. When the hero, this is text 10, when the hero, Prisadra, was thus cursed by his spiritual master, he accepted the curse with folded hands. Then, having controlled his senses, he took the vow of brahmacharya, which is approved by all the great sages. Thereafter, Prasadra gained relief from all responsibilities, became peaceful in mind, and established control over all his senses, being unaffected by material conditions, being pleased with whatever was available by the grace of the Lord to maintain the body and soul together, and being equal toward everyone, he gave full attention to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, who is the transcendental super soul, free from material contamination. Thus, Prasadra, fully satisfied in pure knowledge, always keeping his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, achieved pure devotional service to the Lord and began traveling all over the world without affection for material activities, as if he were deaf, dumb, and blind. This is today's verse. With this attitude, Prasadra became a great saint, and when he entered the forest, he saw a blazing forest fire. He took this opportunity to burn his body in the fire. Thus he achieved the transcendental spiritual world. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. The Lord says in Bhagavad Gita 4:9, Janma karma chame divyam evam yo veti tatvataha chaktvadeha puna janma naiti mameti. So Arjuna, one who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities, does not upon leaving the body take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjun. Prasadra, because of his karma, was cursed to take his next birth as a Sudra, but because he took to the saintly life, specifically concentrating his mind always upon the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he became a pure devotee. Immediately after giving up his body in the fire, he reached the spiritual world, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, Mameti. As a result of his devotional situation, a devotional service performed by thinking of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so powerful that although Prasadra was cursed, he avoided the terrible consequence of becoming a Sudra, and instead he returned home back to Godhead. As stated in Brahma Samhita 554, Yastwindra gopam atavendram ahosva karma mandana rupa palabhajana atanoti karmadi nirdahari kintu cha bhakti bhajam govindam adi purusham tamaham bhajami. Those who engage in devotional service are unaffected by the results of their material activities. Otherwise, everyone from the smallest microbe up to the king of heaven, Indra, is subject to the laws of karma. A pure devotee, being always engaged in the service of the Lord, is exempt from these laws. Srila Prabhupada ki. Mukam karati vachalam pangam langaite girim jat kripa tamaham bande Shri Gurun dinatarinum. These principles are mentioned in Bhagavad Gita by Krishna. Mamhi partavya pasritya jaipishu papayonaya striya vaisha tata sudra yapiyanti param gatim. That Prabhupada's translating that papayoni, those who have a background of sin and take a low birth, if mamhi parta vyapasritya, if they if they take shelter of me, then yapiyanti param gatim, they can attain the supreme destination because of being purified. In the Ishopanishad, it is explained, Shuddham apapa vidham, Shuddham. Everything, anything in contact with the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes purified, and in that way we can transcend the material contamination. Also in second verse of 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, that Pavitram idam utam, Prabhupada translates it as the purest. The Pavitram idam utam, Krishna consciousness, is the purest. In fact, when we analyze the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we see that, of course, here Krishna is explaining that anyone can become purified, and Narottam Das Thakur sings Potit Pavan Hetu, Potit Pavan, particularly for Pavan, for purifying the Potit, the fallen. Hetu, for that reason, Tava Avatar, he has appeared. And Mahaprabhu, in his own words, he's explaining that not only can one become purified by Krishna consciousness, but one can actually, even the most fallen person, can actually become a purifier of others. How does that one go? Kiba Bipra. Kiba Bipra. Even a Brahmin, Kiba Bipra, Kiba Nyashi, Shudra Keni Noi. Shudra Kene Noi. Why not a Shudra? Shudra Kene Noi. Why not a Shudra? Jai Krishna Tattaveta, Shai Guru Hoi. That even the Shudra, if they become purified by Krishna consciousness, they should no longer be considered a Sudra. They can become a Guru and an Acharya. And this was particularly enunciated by the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, particularly in his dealings with Haridas Thakur. Haridas Thakur was even not considered Sudra. Mlecha Jabon. Having not even been born in the Hindu family. Haridas Thakur was born in the Muslim family, and Srimad Mahaprabhu awarded him the title of Acharya. Acharya is the topmost honorific title in the Vedic culture. Acharya. He awarded Haridas Thakur the title Nam Acharya. Indicating that the Krishna consciousness movement, and particularly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sankirtan movement, it transcends all of these material designations. Similarly, Rupa and Sanatan, we were discussing Sanatan Goswami's deliverance a couple of days ago on his disappearance day. Similarly, Rupa and Sanatan were rejected by the Brahminical society. And for that reason, neither Haridas Thakur nor Rupa Goswami, nor Sanatan Goswami entered into the temple of Jagannath in Puri. They never entered into the temple of Jagannath. Sanatan Goswami, he remained in the Siddha Bakula with Haridas Thakur, where they would take darshan of the chakra on the top of the Jagannath temple, indicating their exalted position. Even though from the point of view of the caste-conscious society, they were not entitled to enter the temple. However, from the point of view of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's and the values that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is establishing, that the Supreme Lord himself, he would visit them every day. The Supreme Lord would go to see Haridas Thakur every day and provide him with the Mahaprasadam. One interesting incident, actually the second meeting of Rupa Goswami and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the first meeting was in Ramkeli. And Mahaprabhu at that time instructed Rupa and Sanatan, actually he instructed them to, just like a wife that has a paramour, a wife that has another lover apart from the husband. Mahaprabhu is giving the analogy that wife, actually she becomes very diligent in her household duties, so that no one will suspect her inclination toward the other man. Mahaprabhu is giving this analogy that you should remain in your engagement, and by internally cultivating the desire, then very quickly Krishna will deliver you. And we saw that following this instruction, Rupa and Sanatan were very quickly delivered from their entanglement in the government of the Nawab Hussain Shah. So Rupa Goswami, he left Ramkeli after that first meeting of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu went back to Puri and didn't continue on to Vrindavan. And subsequently, Mahaprabhu, he went to Vrindavan via the Jharikand forest. On that occasion, another example of Putit Pavan, the wild tigers and elephants in the forest of Jharikand, when they were touched by the lotus feet of Sri Gaurasunda, then they became ecstatic with love of Godhead, and and were embracing each other. Can you imagine the potency? What a preacher! What a preacher! Actually, it was discussed when Prabhupada. It's not the ultimate consideration, the Varnashram Dharma. Actually, Prabhupada's examples that he gave men some sannyas, and subsequently he arranged their marriage. Sri Nitai Gaurasunda ki, Sri Radharasa Bihari ki, Sitaram Lakshman Hanuman ki. And Prabhupada commented in that situation that I am not Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who just by the touch of his lotus feet could liberate the tigers and the deers and make them dance in kirtan and embrace and kiss each other. So therefore I need all the help I can get, Prabhupada said. So even the sannyasis that compromised their ashram, Prabhupada still accepted them as his servants and engaged them in Krishna consciousness and engaged them in preaching. So when Rupa Goswami got news that Mahaprabhu had left Puri and had gone to Vrindavan, then he, along with his younger brother Anupam, they left. At that time, Rupa Goswami divided his wealth. He returned home to East Bengal, to the Joshore district, East Bengal, where we have our temple there, Rupsanat and Sriti Tirtha, Benapal, Joshore, East Bengal. He returned there, and he took his wealth in boats along the Padma River. Boats full of jewels and gold that he had acquired in the service of the Nawab. And he divided that wealth amongst his family members, 50% to the Brahmins and the Vaishnavas, 25% to the family members, and 25% he kept in reserve for emergency, and he also allocated 10,000 gold coins for the Sanatan Goswami to extricate himself from the jail. So it's an interesting incident happened when Rupa and Anupam, Sri Ballabha, when they arrived in Prayag, Allahabad, Triveni. At that time, Mahaprabhu was coming back from having visited Vrindavan, and he was coming back along Ganga, and he went to Allahabad, and subsequently he went to Varanasi and delivered all the sannyasis. He was returning to Jagannath Puri along the bank of Ganga. At that time in Prayag, Prabhupada comments that although Tirtharaj, Prayag, is the confluence of Ganga and Jamuna, it never flooded. However, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was there in Prayag, he was visiting the temple of Bindu Madhav. That's actually not a very large temple. If you've been to Allahabad, it's a small temple, Bindu Madhav. And Mahaprabhu was taking darshan, and tens of thousands of people were following him and being completely surcharged with Krishna Prem as a result of seeing Mahaprabhu's Sankirtan movement. Is described by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. The nature of Mahaprabhu's distribution of the holy name was indiscriminate. And just as we heard very sweetly sung the bhajan before the class this morning, that Param Karuna Bahu Duijana. Duijan, these two brothers, Nitai Gaurachand, Shab Avatar Shara Shiromani, Kebala Anandakanda. And the Param Karuna, because they're indiscriminately distributing love of Godhead. Kaviraj Goswami explained, indiscriminate means without considering. Shtan ashtan bichanahe, patra patra bichanahe, nahe shtan ashtan, patra apatra. The qualification or the disqualification, patra apatra. Bichanahe, they don't consider. Shtan, ashtan, the appropriate circumstance or inappropriate. Jayi jaha pai taha kore prem dan. Whoever they came across randomly, they're distributing love of Godhead. This is the specific feature of the Gaurasundar's avatar, which is so much appreciated by the Acharyas. Radha Krishna bol bol bolore shobai e shikaniya shovnadiya fichineche gornitai. Fichineche, neche is wandering. Fiche is wandering, neche is dancing. And there's the extraordinary darshan we have of Sri Nitai Gaurasundar. They're dancing. They're actually intoxicated with the Harinam Ananda. And in that intoxicated state of mind, they lose all, they're not interested in any type of mundane consideration. They're completely maddened. When Mahaprabhu received the Mahamantra from Ishvara Puri, after feeling the effect of regularly chanting Hare Krishna, Mahaprabhu returned to Ishvara Puri Prabhupada and inquired, Kiba mantra dilo goshai, kiba tar bol. Oh Swami, kiba mantra dilo. What mantra have you given me? Kiba tar bol. What is its power? Jopati mantra, korile pago. I've become mad, as a result of chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And this is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission of Premonmatta Vashara Shesha Dashaya Grashto Pramato Sada. Completely mad, the Goswamis. Completely mad. Pramato. Not just mato, but pramato. Completely mad. As a result of chanting Hare Krishna and being intoxicated with love of Godhead. So, Radha Krishna Bolare Shabai. Shikaniya Shabnadiya Fiche Neche. He's dancing, Gaurnitai, and freely distributing the love of Godhead. So Kaviraj Goswami is explaining that even though our Tirtharaj, Prayag, had never flooded, being confluence of Ganga and Jamuna, when Mahaprabhu was doing Sankirtan in Prayag, it overflooded with love of Godhead. Another interesting consideration which I reflect on in this regard is that in 1967, 1968, when Srila Prabhupada first considered introducing, of course, Thakur Bhaktivinoda, in the same year of Prabhupada's birth, 1896, Thakur Bhaktivinoda sent his work, The Life and Teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He sent that to the West, McGill University, and subsequently the devotees still found a copy of that book in the university. So that was the initial dissemination of the teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western world. But Prabhupada, following in the footsteps of the great Acharyas, very early in his mission, very early in 1967, 1968, even before having translated this canto and before having translated second canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Prabhupada wrote the book Teachings of Lord Chaitanya in order to disseminate the sublime teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the Western world. And it's interesting that the teachings of Lord Chaitanya is the summary study of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. However, it's very interesting to note actually at what point does Prabhupada begin the narration of the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It's not in the beginning of the book, Chaitanya Charitamrita, not in the beginning of Adi Leela. In fact, it's not in the Adi Leela at all. He begins the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in the Madhya Leela, and not even in the beginning of the Madhya Leela. He begins the teachings of Lord Chaitanya in chapter 19 of the Madhya Leela, right in the middle of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And even more fascinating, he doesn't even begin it in the beginning of the chapter. He begins the teachings of Lord Chaitanya at this very point. It's not even the beginning of the chapter. It's at this point you read the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. It begins, the first paragraph, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was visiting the temple of Bindu Madhav in Prayag. Tens of thousands of people were following him as he was freely distributing the holy name. This is very significant. Why does Prabhupada start the book at that moment? We can reflect. Because it's like the essence of Chaitanya Avatar. The essence of the Chaitanya Avatar. Through Sankirtan, the whole world can be delivered. Kali Juge Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar Nam Hoite Hoi Shabar Jagat Anishtar. The Sarva Jagat, all the Sudras, all the Mlecha Jabon. What to speak of the pious, can be delivered by the holy name. And this in full technicolor, as they say in Hollywood, in full technicolor, this Leela is the incident upon which Srila Prabhupada begins his summary study of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just hearing about this sends shivers through one's body. The mood of Srila Prabhupada, how he's reflecting the Doyamoy, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, opening the book with that Leela. So the whole book is dripping with this Param Karuna Kripa. In fact, everything Prabhupada writes is fully inundated with Maha-Varanaya Kripa of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Rupa and Anupam, they saw Mahaprabhu in this, at this moment. They saw him taking darshan at Bindu Madhav, performing Sankirtan with tens of thousands of people becoming overwhelmed and ecstatic in love of Godhead. They saw Mahaprabhu at that time as a darshan in Prayag. And then the next day, Rupa Goswami met with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was staying and was, Balabhadra Bhattacharya was cooking and staying at the house of one South Indian Brahmin, who Mahaprabhu had acquainted himself with, one South Indian Brahmin, who Prabhupada translates as the Deccan Brahmin, which is Dokin, South Indian Brahmin. At his home, he was staying there. And so at that time, Rupa and Sanatan, Rupa and Anupam, they arrived to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And upon seeing Mahaprabhu, Rupa Goswami at that time, he spoke the most significant prayer, which we regularly quote upon seeing Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Namo Mahabharanaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaudatvishe Namaha. Also very significant that in one prayer, which we chant regularly, even we chant when we're worshipping the Lord and offering the Bhoga, how important this verse is. And Srila Rupa Goswami, this verse, it summarizes the Gaud Avatar in full, in the essence. And actually this was before he was actually instructed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Before he was instructed. Already he was fully conversant and appreciative of the significance of the Chaitanya Avatar. Mahabharanaya Avatar, the most munificent, because Krishna Prema Pradayate. Krishna Prema Pradayate, he's giving it away freely. Namne Gaudatvishe Namaha. In the mood of having accepted the complexion of the golden complexion of Srimati Radharani. And this beautiful verse, Rupa Goswami prays. So as Rupa and Anupam were taking the association of Mahaprabhu at that time, a very interesting incident occurred which reflects the principles of today's verse. Oh, learned Vaishnavas, would you like to hear this incident? So at that time, Balabhacharya, who was living on the opposite side of Ganga in Allahabad, a place called Adila Gram, he had heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had arrived in Allahabad, Prayag, and so he came to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So when Rupa and Anupam saw this Balabhacharya, he was from a very aristocratic line of Brahmins, Vaishnava Brahmins, and very educated and very qualified in all of the qualifications of the aristocratic Brahminical class. So when Rupa and Anupam saw Balabhacharya coming, they immediately went to a distant place. And then seeing this, Mahaprabhu, he tested Balabhacharya. And he said, just see, he pointed, Rupa and Anupam are going away from Balabhacharya, a distant place. And Mahaprabhu said, just see, these two, they are fallen. They are rejects from the Brahminical society, having taken up the engagement in the government of the Nawab. That's how strict the class-conscious society was 500 years ago, that anyone, the Brahmin cannot be employed. He cannot earn a wage. Not earn a wage, cannot take a job. Actually, if one earned, according to the vision of the Varnashram system, if a person is employed, if he's employed and regularly receiving a wage, that means he's a Sudra, as a level of Sudra, if you're employed. Better than that is if you're doing business, because then you're independent, business. And the Kshatriya, he can taxes and protect. And the Brahmin, he subsists on charity. This is the Varna Dharma. So born in the Brahmin family, but engaged in regularly in the service of others and being employed, they were rejected from the Brahminical class. So Mahaprabhu said, don't go near these rejects. Don't go near these rejects. If you touch them, you'll be contaminated. Mahaprabhu said that to Vallabhacharya. He's testing him. Of course, Vallabhacharya, he passed the test. He responded, how is it, they're at a distance, Rupa and Anupam, they're lying on the ground and chanting the holy name. And Vallabhacharya says, how is it possible that we can consider them contaminated if from their lips we are constantly hearing the name of Lord Hari? And he quoted several verses from Kapila Shikha in Srimad Bhagavatam, where Devahuti is glorifying Kapiladev. Yan nama dhyaya shabananu kirtanat yat pravanat yat shmaranat api kvachit svado pisadya savanaya kalpate kuta punaste bhagavan nudarshanat. That yan nama dhyaya shrabananu kirtan, simply by hearing Shravan and Kirtan, your name, Yan Nama Dhyaya Shravananu Kirtanat. Svado, the dog eater, just by hearing your name and chanting your name. Svado Pisadda, the dog eater immediately Savanaya Kalpate, becomes eligible to perform the Vedic sacrifices. Aho Bhatta, Aho means amazing. Aho means wow. Aho, but the swapacho, even the dog eater, swapacha, dog eater. Aho, but the swapacha, to gari yang ya jivagre nam, ya jivagre, vatate nama tubhyam. If the dog eater takes your name, and Devahuti is explaining, it doesn't necessarily mean regular chanting. Jivagre means, translated as on the tip of the tongue, can also be understood as a little chanting or the beginning of chanting. Jivagre, just somehow they chant. Somehow they chant. They don't have to be chanting seriously. If the name touches their lips, Jivagre nama tubhyam te pus tapas te juhuvu shashnu arya brahmana chunamagrinanti yete. Just by the name of Lord Hari touching their lips, then it is to be considered that they, just by that, chanting your name, they have performed all tepus tapas te juhuvu shashnu arya. They have performed all austerities, tepus tapas juhu shashnu. They have gone to all the holy places of pilgrimage. They have performed all of the required sacrifices and ritualistic performances. Brahmanachu, they have studied all the Vedas. The results that you get from all of these Varnashram-orientated activities, austerity, pilgrimage, a study of the Veda, just by a little, just the beginning of chanting, you are more qualified than having done all of this. So Vallabhacharya was quoting these verses, and Mahaprabhu became very excited hearing these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam. Actually, as we read through the Chaitanya Charitamrita and we study Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings, we can analyze. As Chakrabarti Thakur explains, the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission are based on evidence from Srimad Bhagavatam. Aradha Bhagavan Brajesha Tanayastat Dhamma Vrindavanam. Krishna is the most worshipable form. His abode is Vrindavan. Ramnakachi Rupashana Brajavadu Vageneja Kalpita. The service which is offered by the residents of Vrindavan is the most pleasing type of service. Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanam Amalam. And the highest evidence, the ultimate evidence, is the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Ramatataram Tatradharahana Paraha. These are the precepts of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the evidence upon which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu establishes his movement. And we can see the great poet Kaviraj Goswami, how he describes in the Leelas of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu the regular references to the evidences of Srimad Bhagavatam to establish the principles of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings. So Mahaprabhu was very much excited and very much appreciative of Vallabhacharya quoting these verses of Srimad Bhagavatam, enunciating the glories of the holy name and how it surpasses all considerations of caste consciousness. And Mahaprabhu quoted, Mahaprabhu similarly quoting verses. Name bhakti chaturvedi mad bhakti swapachapriyaha. Even though my devotee is born in the family of dog eaters, he's more dear to me than the chaturvedi Brahman who studied all the Vedas but is not my devotee. Tasmai deyam tatograyam sacha puja jatahi. That mlecha, Javan born Bhakta is as worshipable as I am. Everything should be offered to him. Tasmai deyam tato jayam. Whatever he offers should be accepted. Sacha puja jatahi aham. As worshipable as I am. And this way Mahaprabhu is enunciating the glories of chanting Hare Krishna through this incident with Vallabhacharya. We sang, just before the class today, we sang another very important evidence. Dina hina jota chilo Hare name udharilo Tara shaki jagai maadhai. Another evidence. Jagai and Madai were so ferocious. In fact, they were so sinful. After the deliverance, every day, Vrindavan Das Thakur explains that every day the demigods would come and be present in Navadip Dham when Sri Gaurasundar was performing his transcendental pastimes. And all of the demigods would be viewing Mahaprabhu's pastimes. So after the deliverance of Jagai and Madhai, the demigods in their respective chariots were returning to their respective abodes in the heavenly planets. And everyone was there, Brahma, Lord Shiva, Narad Muni, all the demigods. And they were returning to their respective abodes, Indra, Surya, Varuna. So as they were returning, they noticed that Yamaraj's chariot had stalled. Stalled? Yes, stalled. Stopped, was not going along with the entourage. So Brahma and Shiva, they went to see what's going on. And they saw there that Yamaraj was lying unconscious on the floor of his chariot. And Chitragupta was standing there kind of like scratching his head. So they said, what happened? So Chitragupta explained that as we were beginning the journey, Yamaraj inquired from me exactly what was the amount of sinful reaction that was purified by Gaurasundar when he delivered Jagai and Madai. Actually, what was the quantity of sins that was eradicated from their account? He's asking the head clerk, the head accountant, Chitragupta. And Chitragupta puts his hand to his head and says, don't even ask. He said, such sins they were committing. We had a whole department, a whole wing of Yamaloka, a whole department which was so exclusively engaged in recording the sins of Jagai and Madai. And the messengers were constantly coming and reporting to our clerks. We had thousands of clerks. They were constantly trying to record all the sins. 24 hours a day, they were in complete, what do they call it? Complete panic, stressed out. They were hoping that some ISKCON devotees would come and give some stress management seminars. He said, I couldn't even begin to narrate the volume of sins that we were trying to keep account of. And Yamaraj is saying, and all of that, a whole mountain of sin, just completely zero. Huh? Like on your, if you're using Windows, it'll appear on your screen. Do you want to delete the full account of Jagai and Madai's sins? Yes or no? And maybe a little warning. If you press yes, then this account will never be able to be again returned. What is it? What's the word? Retrieved. Do you want to delete the full account of Jagai and Madai's sins? It will never be possible to retrieve that account again. Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes. Boom. And hearing this Param Karuna avatar, this is what Param Karuna, we have to understand. Not that we're just singing sentimentally, Param Karuna. We have to understand how he's the most merciful. So hearing the extent of Gaurasundar's mercy, Yamaraj fell unconscious. He's just overwhelmed with prema, with a complete appreciation. He overwhelmed, tears from prema. So understanding the situation, having heard from Chitragupta, Brahma and Shiva, the demigods, began doing Harinam Sankirtan. After hearing that holy name enter into the ears of Yamaraj, he himself got up, Jagita, awoke, and he began dancing. Actually, this chapter of Chaitanya Bhagavat is called the Kirtan of Yamaraj. And he began dancing in ecstasy. And all of the demigods became swept away in this Sankirtan of Yamaraj. Would you like to participate in the Sankirtan of Yamaraj along with all the demigods? Yeah, you like to? Yeah. Well, by mercy of Vrindavan Das Thakur, we can participate, we can enter into those pastimes by hearing. Sri Gauda Modhu Urya Leela Jaar Karne Probeshila Ridoyar Nirmal Bhelotar. Heart can be completely purified just by hearing these sweet pastimes of Gaurasundar. So all of the demigods began engaged in dancing and performing Sankirtan. Lord Shiva, his matted locks, which were tied neatly, loosened, and his hair was like swaying and falling on the ground, and all of his clothes flung off his body. Lord Brahma was dancing there along with his family member, his Manasaputras, Kardama Muni, Kashyapa Muni, Narad Muni, Daksha Prajapati. We're all dancing in the Kirtan of Yamaraj. Lord Shiva, along with his sons Kartikeya and Ganesh, were dancing. Narad Muni was in complete ecstasy. He lost his veena. Shukdev Goswami was lying on the ground simply chanting Jagai Madhai, Jagai Madhai, Jagai Madhai, in complete ecstasy. And even Indradev, all of the demigods were there. Varuna, Chandra, Indradev. Indradev, who previously was lamenting due to the curse of Gautam Muni. He was completely covered in vagina. He said, this is intolerable. How can I present myself in the... You're so attached to vagina, I give you body completely covered in vagina. How can I present myself in the assembly of the demigods? Please modify the curse. Modify the curse. So Gautam Muni modified the curse, and for that reason, Indra is completely, his body is completely covered in eyes. So that which was previously a curse, with his thousands of eyes, Indradev was able to view the kirtan of the demigods in ecstasy, meditating, reflecting on the Param Karuna avatar, the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Indradev felt that curse has now become a great benediction, because with thousands of eyes I can view the demigods performing Sankirtan. So in this way we can reflect on the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And relevance for us, well, naturally, we are also fallen. Kalo Sudra Sambhava, where is the Brahman amongst us? In ISKCON, Prabhupada is producing. But everyone is fallen in this Kali Yuga. Shudra Sambhava, everyone is born Sudra. So we have to take shelter, Nama Shrai. Have to take shelter of the holy name. And naturally, This is the only panacea. It is the nectar. It is relished at the highest stage, and it is the medicine for everybody, for distribution, for mass distribution. Enechi oshod maya nashi bado lage harinama mahamantra lau tumi mage. I bought the medicine which can deliver the whole world. So we become a worshipper of the Lord by chanting His holy name, and we freely distribute the holy name here and there indiscriminately. Hare Krishna. Is there any question? Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, please.
Just I was wondering about this, what is his name? Prashadhara.
Yeah.
He went back home, back to Godhead by becoming a devotee.
Yeah.
I just wondering who is his spiritual master, because without
Well, interesting. Yeah.
taking shelter of the bona fide spiritual master, one cannot enter into the spiritual world.
Well, good question, Maharaj. Yeah. Well, he was actually Vishishta was his guru. Vashishta Muni was his guru, and as we heard a few days ago, that Vashishta Muni cursed him because he killed the cow. So Vashishta Muni cursed him to become Sudra. And the Prabhupada comments on Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur that it wasn't a very good thing that Vashishta Muni did. But as far as we understand, his initiating spiritual master was Vashishta Muni. So
Example, in Prahlad time, there are also gurus are there. So guru is different between material guru,
yeah,
a spiritual master who is
Yeah.
the representative of Krishna.
yeah.
Brahmana is not a guru. He is a guru, but not for spiritual understanding.
Well, it says in text number 10 that when the hero Prashadra was cursed by his spiritual master, he accepted the curse with folded hands, and then having controlled his senses, he took the vow of brahmacharya. And so his practice of Krishna consciousness, and then texts 11 to 13 describe his sadhana practice, that peaceful in mind, control over his senses, unaffected by material conditions, satisfied with whatever he gained. He absorbed his mind in the Supreme Personality of Godhead and was fully purified. So that's all I can comment on that. By the practice that is described here, he was purified.
Hare Krishna. We often hear that Krishna empowers and power. Means one devotee is powered and empowered by Krishna. But then when that individual devotee can personally develop himself, if it is on the supply of power from Krishna, he is empowered from Krishna. So without these two things, what is his worth?
I'm not quite getting that, Chakravarti. What is that?
So he is asking that we have heard in scripture that Krishna empowers the devotee. So without the empowerment of Krishna, what is the worth of a devotee?
Without empowerment?
Without the empowerment of Krishna, what is the worth of a devotee?
What is the worth?
Worth. What is devotee?
But it's contradictory to say without the empowerment of Krishna, what is the devotee? Because devotee means taking shelter of Krishna. So devotee means blessed by Krishna, purified. Otherwise, they're not devotee. Devotee means Krishna conscious. Krishna Gati.
Arana, Bhavana, Abhi Kochit, that sloka, beautiful sloka from 4th Canto Bhagavatam, that says that, as you said, that a person chants the holy name of the Lord the moment he is quite eligible.
Yeah.
He is in a very high platform, as you said. So, well, that's very good. We truly accept. But when we see some karmi people, karmis, those who are not in practically spiritual life, devotional service, they sometimes also chant Hare Krishna, Jai Sri Krishna. should we mean that they are in a high platform?
Well, it could be. It could happen. That's the point. It could happen. And yeah, they're on a higher platform, sure. That's what Mahaprabhu is explaining. That we just quoted that verse yesterday. That Jal Mukhe Krishna Nam Ekba Shabai Shresto. Because chanting the holy name. And Rupa Goswami is quoted in the Krishnati Yasha Giri Manasadriyata. Anyone who even utters the holy name in any way, Krishnati Yasha Giri, if the holy name appears on their tongue, Manas Adriyata, that person should be respected.
So any person who chants simply once even Hare Krishna or Sri Krishna, Radhe Krishna, we should be
respect.
We should understand in a way.
They're not ordinary. That's beginning. That's devotional service. They're Vaishnava, Kanishta Bhakta.
Yeah, he's not an ordinary person.
They're an ordinary person. Yeah, and they'll be delivered in due course of time. If
though apparently engaged in mundane affairs.
They continue chanting. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes. Last question.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhuji, you said my devotee means Lord Krishna's devotee, even if born in a dog eater's family, is very dear to me. But in the scriptures, and so Srila Prabhupada also says, those who are devotees of Lord Krishna, even if they can't reach the Vaikuntha, or if they fail to go to Vaikuntha planets, they will born in a Brahmana's family, or either in devotee's family, or in rich family. So my question is to you, how is it possible for a devotee to born in a dog-eater's family?
The point is that regardless of their past, that's not being considered. But from that point, having taken that birth, what happened before that is another discussion. But having taken that birth, for whatever reason, if they become a devotee, then they can become as worshipable as the Lord Himself. Thank you. Grantharaj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Shri Nitai Gauda Premanande Hari Hari Bo.